Back in 1984, Studio Ghibli came out with their first film directed by Hayao Miyazaki, and that is Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, a movie I had never seen before. And within this series of anime reviews and in general just Studio Ghibli reviews, I will be reviewing every single Studio Ghibli film on this channel as I explore and take a deeper dive into them and having fun with them. So come along with me, guys. If you enjoy Studio Ghibli films, if you love anime, or in general if you just love movies, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on content like this over here on a daily basis. As well, guys, comment down below and let me know your guys' thoughts. Are you guys excited for this? Have you seen this film before? Well, let's talk about it if you have. And if you haven't, you probably should. Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind is about warrior pacifist Princess Nausicaa, who desperately struggles to prevent two warring nations from destroying themselves and their dying planet. This is Hayao Miyazaki's version of a post-apocalyptic world. And first off, just coming straight off the bat, I'm a major fan of when it can be about post-apocalyptic worlds. I love the different interpretations of them, and seeing Miyazaki's full realized vision is absolutely just magnificent and incredible. This world that we do get to explore in here with the different creatures, the giant bugs, the spores that are constantly killing people, you know, it's really interesting and it's really entertaining, but in general, it's a new world that I loved exploring. But one of my favorite aspects was how timely this film really is to everything going on in our world now. Everyone in this world has to wear masks. Well, in this world, everyone has to wear masks right now. We just don't have giant bugs yet that have attacked in 2020, but it's quite interesting to see how this film can kind of tie into that and how it can kind of feel relatable in those instances. But one of my favorite things about this film is the way that it is, yes, it is a post-apocalyptic, but a lot of times when we see these type of worlds, there's not these big warring nations. There's not these, in general, Lord of the Rings type worlds, but in this, we see it in such high detail. In Nausicaa, how great and epic this world can be at the same time of feeling, even having moments of, you know, imagine Mad Max Fury Road thrown into an anime and then mixed in a little bit of Lord of the Rings epic nature, and you get a lot of that cool stuff. With all the cool designs just kind of coming from the creatures alone, you get a lot of cool designs with the technological aspects, a lot of the cool vehicles, the plane ships, the gunner ships, and even some of the characters as well that are just make it such a memorable and absolutely vintage touching element that I absolutely adored throughout this film. I think one of the things that I absolutely love, and again, another really big reason why I love post-apocalyptic stuff, is when a world can take, you know, the dread, the nature of it all, but really look at the beautiness in toxic. You know, this is a very toxic world, one that many people can't even not walk around without a mask on. And in Nausicaa, we see this so much, especially in one particular scene where she's just looking at all the spores coming down and talking about, in such a great line of dialogue, talking about, in just a small little glimmer, you can see the dread in this world already, but you can also see the beauty in it. And I think those elements in here are some of the most subtle and touching moments for this film constantly, and truthfully are some of the best moments of it as well. While the film, yes, is highly entertaining when the animation is very sporadic and going about and seeing tons of the action set pieces, it's those subtle moments that really are the genuine ones that have stuck with me the most after viewing this film for the first time. I think this is something that we should be looking at in today, and I think Hayao Miyazaki had a lot to say back then, because, you know, our world has always been toxic. Our world has always had issues, and especially right now, our world is having definitely a lot of issues, but I don't think a lot of us take the time to realize those small moments and definitely dive into those smaller things that we really should be appreciating. And I love how Nausicaa was able to do that, and I think this is an examination of our world and the way that we should be, and I think this film really does teach a little bit more than we actually are coming about from just a surface level. Attention to detail in every single one of the scenes is absolutely great, adding this to be such a great animated film that, again, came out in 1984, but the animation still holds up today and is just beautiful and gorgeous. I miss 2D animation. I wish we had more from Disney, DreamWorks, and everyone along the likes that working in this department. Even with all that said, I haven't even talked about the characters yet, which the three characters for me that really stick out to most is one, Nausicaa, a very charming, beautiful, and elegant character that absolutely opens wonders, but really, you know, has a lot of personality to her that really sticks out, and many people are going to be able to relate to her and feel awe-inspired of her and really cheer for her on throughout this as such a great protagonist. Of course, Kushane and Lord Yupa both being excellent side characters as well that add a lot of depth to this world. Lord Yupa, number one, voiced by Patrick Stewart in the subbed version, but I would actually recommend watching this in the dubbed version because it's way better. But nonetheless, Lord Yupa kicks so much ass in here, and I love his character. I love the little attention to details to him, and just the animation and the look of him, and just his personality kind of stuck out to me the most. Of course, Kushana, who I absolutely just adored and loved throughout here. I love the background history of her. I love her character, and the kind of hidden details that you kind of start to find out about her and her society is absolutely just great. One last detail I really want to touch in, of course, trying to kind of stay away from spoilers, but mentioning there's this thing called the Great Warrior in here, and you know, this warrior aspect of the thing, and you're wondering, what is this thing? Well, when it finally comes into play, it is absolutely one of the most gorgeous moments I've ever seen in any sort of anime film before, and when it happens, your jaw's gonna drop as well. Before I give you my final thoughts on Nausicaä of the Valley of the Wind, make sure to comment down below, guys. Let me know your guys' thoughts. What are your guys' thoughts on this film? Do you guys like it? Do you hate it? Let's discuss it all down there, guys. Hit that like and subscribe button on your ways out as well, just in case you guys don't miss out on movie content like this over here on a daily basis. Head on over to Synopsis Films on how to see films early, and of course, it's a big thing to you and a big thing to my Patreon supporters, because without you, I wouldn't be able to do this. With fascinating creature designs, great characters, and an all-around just sweeping adventure, this is absolutely one of the greatest anime films you could ever jump into. I will say, I do think the third act, it kind of gets tripled down again in some of the higher action set pieces, and I do wish they kind of dived into some more of the elements of the other warring nations. I think that is something that could have been a little bit touched on just a bit better, but that's such a small nitpick for such a great film. So that's it. I'm gonna give Nausicaä of the Valley of the Wind an A-. Let me know down below, guys, what are your guys' thoughts on this film? Do you guys like it? Did you hate it? I'm so curious to hear your guys' thoughts. Make sure to look out for more Studio Ghibli reviews coming soon, and of course, until next time, stay classy.